The hangout on air is live.
Wicked.
All right. Hello, hello, hello.
Hello. Is this thing working?
I hope so.
Oh, it says it's live now on mine.
Let me see if it's the same link. Can you hear us? Oh, Alessio says he can see us. Hello, so I think it's working. Good.
Fantastic.
No.
I can't see anything other than you.
Oh, that's all you need to see.
Ah, of course it is. Fantastic. So you're going to have to be my eyes for what people are saying and doing until we get my side sorted out.
So you got a chat. Hello, welcome. So guys, just to let you know, we've got a little chat box where you can talk to us. We've also got Q&A for questions. Just basically loads of little different things right there on the side, so you can talk to us. Let's just banter around for a few minutes while people get connected and online.
That's cool.
So yeah, we started this basically because, just like everyone who's watching, we are huge Walking Dead fans, as you can see.
Woo! Oh, I don't have a Walking Dead top on today, but I've got my poster in the back representing. So yeah,
And basically we love talking about The Walking Dead.
That's
I
all we
used to
do.
have a Walking Dead podcast back in Brazil, and it was actually on the top 3 most downloaded podcasts in Brazil, talking about The Walking Dead. I really miss talking about The Walking Dead to a lot of people. I talked about it a lot with my friends, of course, but to reach out to more people and get different opinions is always really cool. And it's going to be the first time that I'm actually doing it in English. And I've got the best person in the world to do this with, which is Miss Mamacita Rosita.
Hello. So yeah, I've never done this before, so this is all new to me. But I am a huge Walking Dead fan. Some people might know me from Twitter if they're watching. So I've been running a Rosita account on there for quite a while since she's appeared in season 4. And I decided to do something new, something different, to sort of connect with you guys. And Marie's the perfect person to do this with, because that's all we do is talk Walking Dead, even when we're together, when we're on social media. It seems to be our main focus. So yeah, why not talk with you guys and find out what everyone else is thinking? So that's why we wanted to do this. Yeah, over to you.
Cool. So I'm sure that we're getting a lot of people that are watching us through YouTube. So just let you guys know, the chat box I'm mentioning, you can access it if you watch us through Google Plus, to the Hangout page instead. If you are on YouTube, we will be able to probably read the comments. So let me just see if there's anything on there. Just 1 second.
Yeah, I can't see any of them.
So while people are logging in, or else they'll miss the beginning of whenever we start talking about the episode. So
that's cool.
Just a little bit of banter until everyone logs in.
So yeah, were you, whilst watching The Walking Dead the other day, were you thinking like, oh my God, I'm going to be meeting these people in like a few months? Because I couldn't stop thinking that as well. I just thought, I don't know, just seeing everybody on screen and knowing with Walker Stalker coming to London and we're going to be there, it's quite exciting to see them up there and know we're going to see them in person too. So yeah, I kept thinking that. I don't know if you were thinking that.
The main thing I was thinking about, to be honest, was that Michael Trainer thing. Basically, before we met him, it was like every time his character showed up, it's like, "Ugh, fucking guy again." And now when he shows up, it's like, oh my god, Michael Trainer, he's so cool. So
Exactly. You
it's like
can't. I
total
can't hate him.
360 there.
I can't hate him anymore. I can't hate Nicholas after meeting Michael Trainer because he's such a nice guy. I mean, he's so down to earth and just really spent a lot of time with his fans and made it personal, which was cool. So yeah, I'm finding it
Exactly.
hard to like hate Nicholas at the same time. Had I not met him, it'd probably be different.
Mm-hmm.
So how are we
So it's just so
doing?
funny.
Are people
Let me see,
coming
let me
in?
see. Yeah, so because this will only count the viewers on Google Plus, which are 8. It's not currently counting the viewers on YouTube, which is what I'm trying to clock in. So you got 5 on YouTube and 8 on Google Plus.
Oh, awesome.
9 on Google Plus. So
Awesome. Hello.
we got about 12 people in total watching at the moment. Yeah, that sounds about right. All right, so that was about 10 minutes of banter. How do you feel about us getting into the good stuff?
Yes.
What people are here for. So since you were a good girl, unlike me, and made awesome notes, do you want to start us off with your first bullet point?
Yeah, I could start us off. So yeah, Walking Dead season 6, first episode. I absolutely adored this episode. I think it was probably for me one of the best openers for a season. I can think of other ones, so I'm not saying it's like, the only one that was amazing because there were some good season openers in the past, but for me, this one just completely took me by surprise. And I just thought the horde of walkers in that quarry, it looked like something out of Game of Thrones. Like it just took you somewhere else. The scale of the horde was just epic.
Yeah, my exact thought was, oh my god, is this The Walking Dead or is this World War Z?
Yeah. It's so true. Or sort of like in Game of Thrones where you had like, the entire horde of the walkers sort of coming after them as well. I mean, the scale was just huge. And we've seen hundreds of walkers. We've seen them when Abraham was trying to get to DC. We've seen hundreds of them. But to see them on that scale, I mean, that was quite scary. But yeah, I absolutely loved it. I also love the use of black and white, and sort of using that within the story to show us that we were in the past, and then using color for showing us we were in the present. I think it was a really nice decision for them to do this. And that way I felt I wasn't getting confused. I knew exactly what was going on and in what point. What did you think?
Especially given the fact that it was showing a recent flashback.
Yeah.
So their looks and their clothes would still be the same. So I think it could get quite confusing if they hadn't done something to help out the viewers.
Yeah.
Because they wouldn't know if it was a flashback or it was just like the next scene or whatever. So I think the whole black and white thing was a nice touch.
Oh,
not only for that, but also artistically speaking. I thought the black and white to signify the past was really cool as well.
Yeah, I think so. It was a nice look. Like, be nice to know what you guys think as well. Do you agree? Did you really like the use of black and white film? Maybe it bothered some people. Some people don't like black and white. But yeah, I really liked it. I thought it sort of gave a gritty feel to it as well. Sort of took you to a different place you've never got to see The Walking Dead in, which I sort of like that. What else? What else do you want to talk about, Marie? Anything comes to mind for you?
No, I was just happy to see Rick not that clean shaven anymore.
Do you want the beard back?
Yes,
Yeah.
please.
Oh, see.
beard was what gives him the big, you know, badass kind of thing.
It did make him pretty badass, but I think a lot of people there's a lot of different views. Some people like him clean shaven, some people like the full beard. So yeah, I think it's always split decision when it comes to that. But yeah, I also loved Morgan and Rick as well. I thought they worked really well together on camera. And I
Yeah,
thought
because
they
you
had
remember how they built. Sorry, you remember how they built the trailer to look like they were gonna be like fighting against each other? Like that's bullshit.
exactly.
That's not gonna happen. And then it opens up. They're like chill. They're fine. Like, oh, come on.
Yeah, exactly. I think that was quite cool the way they tried to throw people off and make you think it's going to be completely different. But yeah, I thought they had some really touching moments together as well. And I sort of like brought out the old Rick, you know, the Rick you saw in season 1. So seeing that side of Rick again was quite nice. I really enjoyed that.
Especially because the last time that we saw him, he was completely out of it.
Yeah.
It was, you know, in that episode Clear, which was like a really big episode for The Walking Dead. He lost it to the point where he tried to stab Rick and everything.
Yeah.
So to see him in such a different place, because we saw him in 3 very different stages. Yeah. So right in the beginning, he was the first person that Rick saw in the apocalypse, and he was there with his kid, and he was still, you know, he was already aware of what's going on, and very going like hitting him in the head and everything, thinking he was a walker, and kind of asking like, have you been bitten or not, like already worried. He wasn't being naive about the situation, but it was still the beginning. He was still, you know, heartfelt with having his wife walking around every day already as a zombie. And then there was that first change where when he actually shot his wife, I think something clicked in his head. From that moment on, I think he realized how bad it actually was. And then when they found Michonne and Rick found him in Clear, and you can see he'd lost his son, he'd lost everyone around him. He was all by himself, and he just spiraled out of control into probably depression, solitude, and it just made him go crazy. And then we see him again, completely different, no guns.
No.
He learned how to use his, like a baton thing. What do you call that?
Like a bow, sort of like
his stick thing.
Yeah.
He learned how to use that. But you see, when they ask him, oh, did you learn this before or after? And he was a bit offended, but he did say after. So that means that he didn't meet people between that time frame.
No, exactly.
But he was alone. So what happened? You know what I mean?
I would love to know what happened. I'd love to sort of maybe get an episode with a backstory of what happened to Morgan when you know, Morgan sort of, after he saw Rick, that sort of whole time period. You know, I want to know who taught him how to use the bow staff. You know, somebody taught him that. Someone taught him to be all Zen and sort of taught him a bit of martial arts as well. So I think having an episode sort of as a flashback to Morgan, that would be pretty cool.
Yeah. What's the next thing you've got?
Have we got any questions? Anyone, any comments? People saying anything?
So I've got Sylvie, or
Hi, Sylvie.
the French Carol. She actually said that let me see. We got questions. Let me see. So I've got. She just found a way to comment. She said that's awesome. Don says the black and white could also be a homage to the comic. I hadn't thought of that, Don.
I didn't think about that either. That's very cool. I like that idea. I like that sort of homage to the comic. I didn't actually think of that, being a huge comic book fan. I'm surprised I didn't think of that. Thanks for that, Don. That's an awesome comment.
Yes, that's definitely
cool. What's Sylvie saying then?
Let me see. She just said that she was happy that she found a way to comment.
We'll check back and see if she's if she's got something to say as well.
Yeah, so guys, if you are on the chat on Google Hangouts, on the top right corner, it's a little square formed of little circles. So it's right next to the question mark. Just click on that, then click on Q&A, and it will open a window on the right-hand side, and you'll be able to send in your questions for us. Yeah? So let's see the next one. Rebecca, who do you think blew the horn? Oh, we'll get to that. Don't you worry. We'll definitely get to that.
That's a good question. That's a good question, like.
Don wants to know, Lynn, is that Rick Grimes on the wall behind you?
Oh yes. Oh yes. I hope I've got a couple of really nice posters, and I'm hoping to bring them to Walkerstock with me and get them signed. But now I've got more than one. I've only got the one up, but I do love that one because you've got Abraham's note in the background, written on the map.
And I swear we did not think, like, we did not know.
Oh, did you? You've got the same one. I didn't even know that.
That's true. That we hadn't talked about this is completely a surprise.
We're Walking Dead best friends now.
Oh god, we got the matching ponchos and everything. Okay,
That's
I got another one from Rebecca. She says, "I love the black and white. It made it feel like a movie, which is amazing considering I think the premiere is like a movie for me each season."
It's so true. It's so true, and it sort of gave you that sort of feeling of a film, I think, and yeah, just brought that grittiness to it, and gave us a whole different side of The Walking Dead. Definitely loved it.
Especially now that they make the premieres an hour long. If you watch on the telly, it's actually an hour and a half, taking in the commercials.
Yeah.
So it does definitely feel like a movie because it's a lot longer.
Yeah.
And it's also because when you, for example, I don't watch it on the telly, I watch it online. So when you scroll and you see you've still got like 50 minutes, 40 minutes to go, I'm like, yes, it's not halfway through yet. It's still got loads to go. Yeah. It's always really exciting.
I watched it both. So I've watched it on telly and then I watched it again online. And each time it just sort of felt like a film. It's sort of really nice length. I think half an hour would have been way too short to fit all that in. There's no way. There's no way. So, guys, what were some of your best Walker moments? Because there were some pretty cool Walkers in there. And I think, obviously, we've got a lot going on with the storyline as well. And we sort of forget about Greg's sort of like creations, and I thought there were some awesome Walkers in this one. My favorites that stuck out for me, I really like the Walker sort of trying to get through the two trucks, and you could see its skin just sort of like peeling off as it's really trying to get there, and it's just so decayed and hungry. It's going to do anything it can to get through that truck. I just thought that one just looked amazing. What about you, Marie? Have you got a favorite Walker moment from episode one?
Sorry, the sound kind of faded out for me a little bit on that. I didn't want to interrupt you.
That's okay.
But if you don't mind,
shall I say again?
Just repeating that. Like the sound is fine. It was my connection that kind of failed.
Oh, okay. Sorry. So yeah. So I was saying, like, did you hear me talking about my favorite sort of Walker moment?
Had a favorite moment.
Yeah. So my best Walker moment, for me that sticks out is definitely the Walker trying to get through the two trucks, and you can see
then the rip
skin
skinned off.
Healing.
That's my favorite moment. I agree 100%.
100%.
That was like just him going through, and every time there's a really gory zombie, I always go, "Oh my god, Greg Nicotero had so much fun doing this."
Oh, definitely. And I think he had an awesome time doing this episode. I mean, there were some brilliant Walkers. I just couldn't keep my eyes off of them. Even the Walker that was in the tree and ended up biting the face off Carter. I thought that Walker was pretty awesome looking. Very decayed again, and sort of part of nature. It just sort of became the tree and came after him. So yeah, well done, Greg, because I mean, the Walkers were definitely on point for this episode. Yeah, what do you guys think? Was there a particular Walker that stuck out for you that Marie and I didn't mention? Or a Walker moment or death?
I've also got a few more messages from people here.
Yeah, go on.
So I've got Dawn saying this was from a while ago, but he said, I knew it was a misdirection from day one, talking about the Rick
with the trailers, yeah.
Rick and Morgan like fighting thing, definitely. Fabio says hi. Hi.
Hello, Fabio.
And then we got Deanna saying, I'm so new to this, haha, but how are my two favorite ladies? Love my cosplay sisters. P.S. I miss my Teresita love.
Oh, look, little sis come on for us, bless her. Hello.
Hello. And here's Alessio or Daryl. Hey, Daryl. I couldn't pick a favorite because the scale of the herd was so big, but gotta love Morgan knocking the walker off the cliff with his mighty... That didn't sound right, but okay.
I missed the last wording. You cut out. What was the last word?
He said, gotta love Morgan knocking the walker off the cliff with his mighty staff.
With his mighty staff. Well, you know, it is a mighty staff. But yeah, no, that was pretty amazing. I liked watching the walkers sort of falling off onto the sides of the quarry. But yeah. What else? What else do you want to talk about?
Dean Horton. Hello, Dean.
Hello.
Would you have killed that Carter when Rick pointed the gun at his head? No.
No?
I wouldn't have. No.
Why
because he's just killed someone in Alexandria for the right reasons, and I think just killing someone there and then would just create a lot more controversy. He would get more people like him, maybe trying to turn him down.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I would have done in that situation. I think you're right. I do think doing something like that after the whole death of Pete, wasn't it? I think it would have definitely turned a lot more people against Rick when he's trying to get them all together to take care of this herd. But yeah, I mean, spur of the moment, yeah, I probably would have killed him. But I think Rick made the right decision at that time not to kill him. But yeah, I was sort of screaming at the telly at that point because I love Eugene and I didn't want Eugene to be hurt or but I screamed like at the telly, just sort of going, "Oh, Eugene," when he sort of made a noise because I knew something was going to happen and he wasn't going to just walk away. Hearing these plans to kill Rick. But yeah, one of those moments I was like, oh no, what are you doing? No, shouting at the television as you do.
All right, so I got one from Rebecca. She said the best walker has to be the one that killed Carter. I mean, its guts were tied to a tree.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It sort of like became nature, and like that's what I love about these walkers sort of decaying. They are sort of becoming part of the sort of background, and him tearing his face off, I think he definitely deserved the death that he got. What about you? Definitely.
No, every time the gorier the zombie, like the better. Like, I don't know, the more guts and the more bizarre, the better. So, for example, the water fountain zombie, like on season 2, was amazing because it got cut in half. So anything like that, that's like the stuff that I like. So
guts and gore. Guts and gore.
You see what I got here? So I got one from Fabio.
Oh.
They used a new layer over the series. What do you think about it? Yeah, guys, did you notice this? That you know how it always used to be like this, like very green and gritty, and this one going between the black and white and the color. When it went to color, it was actually really colorful. Did you notice that as well?
I didn't really notice that, but I'm gonna obviously watch it again, and I'll keep a lookout on that. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see what other people think and whether or not they spotted that same thing.
Yeah, because it's always quite like mossy green, kind of over everything. And then for this episode, whenever it went to color, it's kind of like the saturation was a little bit higher than normal. And And that really surprised me because it's the first time they ever changed the imagery of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that was a big change if you think about it, going from 5 years in the same kind of color range and then suddenly coming into a completely new color.
Yeah.
I don't know if they did it on purpose only for this episode, so there would be a bigger difference between the black and white and the color, just to kind of shock the difference more.
Yeah.
So I guess throughout the next few episodes we might be able to find
Yeah,
out.
we'll be able to tell. Yeah, I'll keep a lookout for it next time I watch. That's quite an interesting point. Hadn't noticed.
So you got Talia. She says, Lynn, that was my favorite Walker moment too.
Awesome.
Then we got Alessio. Wait. Saying that he did the shaft comment on purpose. He's naughty. And then we got Dawn agreeing that if Rick did shoot him, it would have caused more tension. And then we've got, let's see, Justine saying hello.
Hello.
We got Sylvie saying, even if they used special effects to add walkers, they should have been a huge work to make up this insane number of walkers. Yes, definitely. Definitely. I think even though it was special effects on a computer, like they didn't actually use makeup on every single zombie that was in that first scene.
Yeah.
But even though it was digitally added, it's still a lot of work to get it done properly, for sure.
Oh, definitely.
It doesn't take the same time or money. That's why they choose to do it with a computer. But they still have, to adjust the lighting and where it goes and the movements and everything. So definitely.
It's very cool. It's very cool. What else have we got here?
Igualzinho como eles fizeram no Game of Thrones.
What's it?
What?
São vários ao mesmo tempo.
Can you say that in English, please? So Dean is saying, did you love seeing Gabriel getting shut down by Rick?
Oh my God, probably one of my favorite moments. That was just one of those cool ass moments where you just sort of like bitch slapped him. You might as well have just bitch slapped him straight across the mouth. But yeah, we all know Gabriel deserved that.
Top 3 moments in the episode. 1, that moment.
Yeah,
definitely. I can help. No, anyone else? Top favorite moment.
Yeah.
Number 2. Well, I should be delivering pizzas.
Oh, you've got to love Glenn's pizza delivery boy line. Love it.
Number 3, you got good hair game.
There you go.
That was such
Eugene.
a shout out to the fans.
I know.
Such a shout out to the fans.
I know. I love that. I love that. And that's what I love about Josh as well. That he sort of puts a little bit of himself into that, and you saw that personal side too. But yeah, I love the banter between them. And I can sort of see them probably becoming good friends. I can see him and Heath sort of having things in common, which maybe they wouldn't have with other people because they seem very clever. Obviously, we know Eugene's very smart. He did lie and he wasn't a scientist, but I believe I think his backstory is being a teacher. So he is clever. And he did help them a lot when it came to the walkers and saying that just using the cars wasn't going to work. And saying they needed to get those structures up. But yeah, definitely, there was no way they would have got that amount of walkers through there without putting up those walls. So I see Eugene's definitely going to step up. He's stepping up a lot more. And I think the team need him when it comes to things like that. So God, I love Eugene. But I always say mullet before Keith's hairdo any day. Mullet always rocks. Oh, I can't hear anything. Can you hear me? I can't hear you, Marie.
Can you hear me now?
Yay!
Yay! So Don is saying that those are his top 3 moments as well. Nice. And then Talia is saying that Eugene's hair game comment was great. Definitely. So let's move on to the next bit. So Abraham gets back into the car with Sasha after killing loads of Walker. Oh my God. So first of all, Eugene and Sasha, new ship. Never thought of it before. What do you think then?
Wait, did you say who and Sasha?
What did I say it wrong? I'm
I
reading
don't
one
know.
thing and saying another.
Who
I
did you
meant
say?
Abraham and Sasha.
Oh,
I
Abraham and
think I said
Sasha.
Eugene by
No,
mistake. Sorry.
I don't think so. For me, I think Abraham knows where Sasha's at, or at the moment mentally, and I don't think Abraham's doing very well himself. I mean, he's drinking a lot at the moment, which we saw him drinking in the last season too. For me, from what I can see of little clips of him and Rosita, they sort of seem a bit disconnected as well. They don't seem as much of a couple as they used to do. So I'm a bit worried about Abraham, especially the fact that he asked Sasha, like, why was she going on this mission? Was it because she wanted to die? Does that mean by him volunteering, he wants to die? Is there a part of him that is so down by being locked up in Alexandria? I don't know. But I do think I'm going to keep an eye on Abraham because there's something not going on right inside of his head. What do you think?
Yeah, the whole drinking thing was a bit sad to see and unfortunate, especially after we got a little bit of his flashback story about what happened to his family. I think that's something really difficult to deal with.
Definitely.
And I think he's got that kind of, not split personality, but he's got his army Abraham, and you've got like real person Abraham, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And I think he just finds it hard to balance the two out, especially in the situation that humanity is in at the moment. So basically, Rick, a lot of things are starting to come up, like feelings and actions that he would never have crossed his mind ever because of the situation. As for Abraham, it seems like since he has that army mindset, it might be things that he kind of dealt with, speaking about having to kill people and things like that.
Yeah.
So it's just taking that side of him to the extreme now with the situation they're in. So I think he's just finding it harder and harder to balance those two sides of his personality, I guess, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. No, I agree. And I think also being behind these walls is not Abraham's style, as much as he's trying to make it his style and sort of getting on with his job and doing those sorts of things. I think he'd much rather be out and about beating the hell out of walkers. I don't know.
Yeah, Don said, great analysis, Lynn. That's what I thought too.
Yes, somebody's there with me. Thinking right there.
So I've got Dean here. He said, fans want Rick and Michonne to get together. Thoughts? No. Anyone else?
Yes, I would love Rochelle to happen. I really would.
My answer is no. Anyone else want to volunteer? Nope.
No. Who do you want for Rick then?
Right now?
Yeah, if you were going to ship.
The sexual tension between him and Jesse is just like, you can feel it in the air.
Yeah, but she probably gave him the cold. She gave him the cold shoulder, though. She gave him the cold shoulder in the last episode.
Just for a few days.
Just for a few days. I don't know. We'll see.
Give him a bit of blue balls, just building up on the expectations. You know?
I can see Dean's point though about Rochelle, because I think coming from a comic book, I'll say why I think so. Because coming from a comic book point, without going too much into it, because I don't do spoilers for people, but Rick's with Andrea in the comic books, and I think Andrea is such a strong woman that if you try to relate that to someone who's left within The Walking Dead, that would be Michonne. And because of their friendship, and you see the way Rick can talk to her, like he can't talk to he doesn't speak to anyone else like he speaks to Michonne. He'll tell Michonne the truth. So I think you can see that sort of side of things and see how that could work. But we all have different opinions. You obviously just want Jesse and Rick to get it on, but you know.
No, seriously, guys, it's the first time me and Fabio have matched cosplays in the history of ever. So yeah. It was always like he would do like Edward Scissorhands, and I would be doing Sucker Punch, or he'd be doing Mad Hatter, I'd be doing Hit Girl. So it's the first time we actually matched cosplays. So I just want it to last.
That's so funny. You want it to last, but I don't know. Horde's on its way. It's on its way.
Oh, thank you, Lynette.
Jessie better be safe. Well, she best make sure Rosita taught her how to shoot that gun, and she was paying attention. Rosita,
you better teach me. Quick.
Yeah, I'll teach you. Don't worry. You best pay attention though.
On that note, I had a question right here. I think questions are kind of going on and off. I don't know why, but basically, Dean had asked Lynn, when did you fall in love with Rosita? Was it from the get-go?
I think I did. I think as soon as I saw Rosita, right away, I sort of thought, I can cosplay a character from The Walking Dead. This is amazing. So I was very excited. But being a fan of the comic books, and sort of reading past the point of Abraham's army coming in, I sort of knew they were coming, and I really hoped that the group would do them justice, because they were my favorite new set of characters in the comic book. And I have to say, Christian, Michael, and Josh have really done fans proud by reading up on the comics and finding out what we as fans want them to bring into that. And in particular, Christian, I just think, has brought everything we love. She's brought sassiness. She's brought all that cool stuff that Rosita from the comics brings. So yeah, what's not to love about her? I just I fell in love instantly. And yeah, please do not kill Rosita, because I will cry. Please.
Don't promise anything.
Nobody kill my Rosita. But yeah, I've loved her from the very, very beginning.
So I've got one. Oh, because you're both Latina as well. Like that makes sense. I think.
Yeah, it makes sense.
That like subconscious link, you know.
Exactly. Exactly. I'm sort of like, yeah, gotta have a Latina.
Unless you're saying, sorry, unless you're saying Rishon definitely beats Jick or Ressi. See, it even sounds bad abbreviated. Shut up, Alessio. You know what Boo. It could be.
Go on, Alessio.
Jarek. No, that's awful.
Jarek? No, I don't like that one. I don't like that one.
Rixie. Just awful. Forget about him. And Sylvie's saying, one of my favorite quotes from the episode is Eugene saying, I fully respect the hair game. Yeah, definitely.
Oh, without a doubt.
I've got Rebecca saying Rishon all the way as well. Can you guys shut up about Rishon, please?
See, I told you, the fans speak. We know, Marie. Just, you need to...
Can't get with that program. I'm sorry, I just don't feel it. I don't see it. Like, I see them two kind of like Rick and Daryl, like brothers. I see like Michonne as Rick's sister, not as a couple, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I
see them more together, a lot more like that. Because I don't see their personalities matching for a couples kind of thing. I see their personalities matching for a really, really strong friendship, though. I don't know. I see no sexual tension at all between the two. Well, I see a lot of sexual tension between him and Jessie, if that makes sense.
Yeah, but that's just a short-term thing, isn't it? That's just some short-term loving without going into being rude. I'm trying to find the link now, and I can't.
Let's see what else. I've got Talia, if that's how you pronounce it, or Talia. Sorry.
Ooh.
It's, what did you think about Morgan calling Carol out on her act?
That's
that was
amazing.
awesome. Like,
Sorry, you go ahead
He
with
was finally
personally.
the one who kind of caught up to it because everyone's is taking her bullshit. Like they're just accepting it, just scoping it down like a cup of tea.
Every time I try to do
That
it,
whole thing about
it's
her
just
being
going
a
to it.
poor little helpless lady that doesn't know how
Mm.
to protect herself. Like he was just like, nope, nope, nope. I'm not biting into this. So it
Yeah,
was so funny to actually see someone like catching up on her bullshit because
definitely.
I know a lot of people think it's awesome, but I'm just finding it a little bit silly. It will help her out, but to a certain extent, just like we saw what happened with Morgan right now.
Yeah, yeah. But I think Morgan's very switched on, and he spotted that straight away. Whereas with the people of Alexandria, because they've been behind these walls for such a long time and not and aren't experienced, I think she can hide very easily from them, just by being one of them. But Morgan, nah, that's not going to work. Definitely not going to work on Morgan. I think he's a bit too clued up.
Hmm. So we got, let's see what else. Okay, so you got one from Rebecca that actually has 5 likes already, so I'm going to read that one out.
Yes, go on.
Did you notice that Carl was actually in the house for once? It only took 6 seasons.
Yes. That's amazing. That's so true. That's so true. He's actually in the house. I don't know how that's happened. But yeah, he's actually
Now
in
that
the
he can
house.
fend for himself, he's inside the house. Then
What
we
else we
got
got?
Miss Deanna. What do you guys think of the costuming that's been seen so far in the trailer and first episode compared to last season? They seem a lot plainer to me, haha. Well, I think the only clothes left laying around in Alexandria were quite boring, so that's what they had to pick up.
Mm.
And it's not like people around there are that fashionable, anyways. This is something that I've been discussing with quite a few people about how all the zombies are always in long sleeves and plain or pastel colors. The long sleeve and the long skirts are probably a tactic for makeup purposes so that they don't have to spend that much time doing the arms and the legs,
Yeah.
or it's becoming silly because every single one, like, okay, like the one that walked between the trucks, he had his shirt off to have the ripping the skin off effect. But if you notice, most hordes coming through are also long sleeve, long shirt, skirts, long pants or trousers. So if you have a look, for example, when they're turning that corner on the street sign, all of them are like that. And you notice all their clothing is either brown, green, beige, there's no color. There is no zombie in work clothes or like a zombie doctor, zombie nurse. You don't see any zombie punks. You barely see zombie children.
I'm not seeing
And
any zombie
well,
strippers either. What's
there you
with the zombie
go.
strippers? You know what I mean?
You've got
Surely.
it. You've got
There's
that
got
in
to be one.
Zombieland.
There's got to be one.
So you see, it's like okay. It started out in like outside in a little town in Georgia, so there might not be that many like punks hanging around. That's fine. But now that they've walked so much and that you actually see that they are hoarding up and walking great distances, I think that there should be a bigger zombie diversity, and that's a fight that's a cause I'm gonna fight for now. More zombie diversity on The Walking Dead.
We need all different types, definitely. I agree.
Yeah,
But
no discrimination against working zombies, punk zombies, clubber zombies, stripper zombies. Come on, we need
exactly.
all the zombies being represented on The Walking Dead.
We need that sorted, definitely. I think the cast clothing, though, has gotten better already so far this season. Because obviously, them coming to Alexandria, they had very plain clothing. I don't really see, from a cosplay perspective, how I could cosplay Rosita, like, for instance, when she turned up at the party that they had around at Deanna's. I don't think I'd be able to wear that and go to an event and people would know who I was. But I think now they're sort of mixing it up a bit. So in the trailer for the next episode, Rosita's wearing her classic trousers, but a bit of a different top. So I think mixing that up is quite exciting. Maggie had a nice white belt on as well. So there were some nice new little touches that hopefully us as cosplayers, anyone dressing up, can have a bit of fun now with this season. So I'm looking forward to seeing more, without a doubt. But yeah, something I wanted to talk about quickly though, and I only spotted it on my second watch, was Maggie's conversation with Glenn.
Yes,
and I don't
let's
know.
talk about this.
Yes, because for me, I missed it the first time, and I think it's because of all the chaos that's going on with Rick and getting this group together. You can miss it quite easily, but yeah. Anyways, another one. One of my favorite parts of this was the fact that everyone's volunteering, and Maggie and Glenn stood there, and Glenn basically tells her, it's best for her to stay behind. And Maggie agrees, which at first I thought, that's a bit weird. Normally Maggie, doesn't agree with what Glenn says, and she wants to do the opposite. But she agreed with him. And if you listen to their conversation, and she says it very quietly, he tries to say, stay there, help Deanna out, be the backbone, and help her come through this. But then he also says that it's not the only reason why she should stay behind, and Maggie agrees. So they've got a little secret, don't they? So I think this is quite exciting as well. Did you spot it the first time?
Don just said, "Preggers."
Ooh, could it be? Is there going to be a Gleggy baby? I don't know. I'm quite excited.
I hope he kept one of those pregnancy tests he bought for Laurie.
Probably be expired by now, but you never know.
They did have condoms back then, but I don't think they have any more condoms now. So
no, definitely
it is a
not.
possibility.
I've not seen them get round to the shop for quite a while now. But yeah, I think in the fact that Glenn and Maggie both know, and this is their little secret, I don't know. Feels like a baby to me. Does anyone have any other ideas what they think they might be talking about? But yeah, like I said, I missed it the first time around. It was only the second time I watched the episode that I actually picked up on that. So yeah, very exciting.
So you've got something else on your notes that I'm really interested in talking about.
What's that?
About Maggie comparing Tara and Nicholas.
Yes.
No. Completely different things. You can't compare one situation to the other. It's cool that she's trying to be nice to Tara and recognizing the situation towards Tara, but Nicholas already had Glenn kind of on his side. Glenn had already been accepted to Alexandria, and he tried to kill a person that was accepted into his community. Tara was with the governor had brainwashed everyone into thinking that our group was the bad group. If Rick came up and said, let's kill those guys because they're bad guys, we'd all be going, yes, do it, So that it's not yay, hooray, that's all right, but it kind of makes sense. Well, Nicholas, seriously, Glenn was already part of the group living there, and he just cowardly tried to kill him. So that says a lot about him personally, more than thinking in a group mentality like Tara was. What do you think?
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, this is why I wanted to talk about this point, because I totally disagreed with Maggie. And like you said, I can understand why she's being nice with Tara, but I think it's two totally different things. I don't think Tara really had much of a choice when it came to being with the governor. And I think she felt bad instantly about what she'd done. Nicholas, on the other hand, he, when they went on the run together and Deanna's son was dying, he sort of like whispered to him, this is what we do. We left the others behind, and he was more than happy to leave him. He again escaped through the revolving doors, causing Noah to die, and that was only because he was looking out for himself. And then luring Glenn out and practically trying to kill him. I just think they're completely different things. But what do you guys think? Do you think that Nicholas can be trusted still? Do you think he's turned a new leaf? Do you believe like this sort of new way he's trying to come across and being helpful? Or is this just a ploy to sort of get Glenn to back down a bit, let down his guard? I don't know. What do you think?
Ooh la la, ooh la la. So while we get those comments through our Q&A section, let me see what else. Just talk here. Deanna, has she gone off the rocker now? Who was it that said she's running on autopilot?
I remember the line, but I don't know who said it.
I think it was Carter. Might have been, because he was the one kind of criticizing it.
Yeah.
I'll ask my expert. He might know. Yeah, he's confirmed.
It's Carter, yeah.
I've just asked my source of all of the Walking Dead knowledge, and he's confirmed that yes, it was Carter. So basically, he goes that Deanna's on autopilot.
Yeah.
She's just doing everything that Rick says. She's just saying yes, 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 yes. To a certain extent, I do kind of agree that she's just saying yes to everything that Rick says. To us, as the Walking Dead fans, it feels amazing because it means she's giving control to someone we love. But at the same time, he is still a newcomer in that society. But on the other hand, he is someone that has a lot of outside experience. So it's a question of promoting internally or hiring externally, basically. You know what I mean?
No, definitely. But I think she's lost it a bit. I mean, she's been through a lot in such a short period of time. That's obviously going to take a toll on her and take a toll on her decision-making skills. And I think she's leaning on Rick right now because she knows Rick can get the job done. But yeah, I think Maggie will help her as well. I think Maggie will be a good person to sort of, give her a bit of strength back. And I think Maggie's got those sort of leader qualities to her as well.
Okay, so I got a list you about the Nicholas thing we were talking. He says, I think Nicholas has turned a new leaf for now. And I usually find it very hard to see that happening, but eventually that will change. You put any one of these characters in a difficult enough situation and they'll change. We've seen Rick do it many times.
That's true. That's true. That's very true. I think, it'd be one to watch. It'd be interesting to see whether or not Nicholas has turned that new leaf. I hope he has, because I like Michael Traynor, and it'd be nice to not hate his character anymore. But yeah, I think it'll be interesting to watch, without a doubt.
Yeah, I think he might have turned a new leaf, but us as fans of the group, it'll be really hard for us to forgive someone that tried to kill off one of the main characters. So I think we're going to hold quite a grudge against what he tried to do, despite it maybe happening the other way around too. Another thing as well that I think is, well, got me thinking about this after the question was something that I had thought about earlier, which is Glenn becoming the moral compass of the group? Because the moral compass.
Right.
Because his choice to not tell everyone speaks a lot of him. Because seriously, if he told Rick, Nicholas would be dead by now, for sure. Like, no questions asked at all. Because he was thinking, he's going to be exiled. No. Rick would have shot him in the face End of
Yeah.
the story. He wouldn't have been exiled. He would have been shot in the face by Rick.
Definitely.
So that choice of his to not tell is it kind of made me feel like he's becoming the moral compass, because you know how Dale was the moral compass, and then Herschel was the moral compass, and so on and so forth.
And not,
Yeah.
not the first time Glenn do this.
No,
He do this with Tara.
with Tara as well. He's the
Yeah.
one that kind of trusted her.
Yeah.
He got a special incoming message from Rick Grimes himself saying he's done this with Tara as well. So it kind of looks to me that he's kind of becoming the moral compass. But in times like these, we need to have the good-hearted people like Glenn, but we still need like tough people like Rick, because you can't trust everyone. You might get bitten in the ass if you
Yeah.
trust too much, or you might get bitten in the ass if you don't trust. And that goes into Daryl actually being the one to tell Rick, we need to keep looking for more people. Because Rick goes, no one else, I don't want anyone else. And then Daryl saying, the more people we have, the stronger we get. If you think, what would it be of Alexandria if it wasn't for them turning up, you know? It could have stayed the same. It could have gotten worse. Those walkers could have gotten through. Of course, when we get to the end of this hangout and talk about the end of the episode, we're going to see how that kind of went to shit anyways. But despite that, it's funny to see Daryl being the one to say we should take more people in, because he was a person that when took in felt miserable and felt like he didn't belong and felt like he didn't want to be there. Because without getting too much into last season, or else we're going to have a hangout for season 1 through 5, which would be awesome. But anyways, because the thing about him feeling uncomfortable, I think it came down to when society was still normal. He was just like this hillbilly crackhead that no one really cared about, and he was patronized and judged. And then in the apocalypse, because of his skills, he actually became someone of value. So I think going into a place where, like Alexandria, where it looked like society was still the same as before the apocalypse, I think he was worried he was going to go back into being, you know, patronized and that prejudice against him, etc., etc., because everyone was giving a job, like either patrolling, like being on patrol, or cooking, or sorting things out, you know, using their skills. And he was afraid that since his skill was being out there and knowing how to kill zombies, he was going to be rendered useless once again. And then when he knows he actually had a place, he actually really liked it. So for that to turn around and have Daryl tell Rick, we should get more people, I think that was awesome, because you don't always see a balance between a leader and his right arm. You lots of times get the right arm just going with the flow of the leader. So having a right arm, a brother that actually gives his ideas to the leader, I think is really healthy, and it's gonna make them grow even stronger, because Rick will always know that he's got a person to turn to and not a person that will just follow his every word.
Definitely. That's a good little analysis. I like that. But yeah, I think Glenn has grown a lot, and I'm not sure if this is right, and someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. I think Glenn is probably the only one in the group who hasn't killed someone that's not a walker.
Who?
I don't think Glenn's actually killed anything other than walkers. I don't think he's actually killed human being. I could be wrong, but I think I'm right. She's going to get the independent adjudicator in to see whether or not I'm wrong or right.
I'm trying to find out. Did he kill anyone?
Sure, I'm right.
Did Glenn ever kill a person, or only walkers?
I think he's only ever killed walkers. We can find this out.
Well, while he thinks about this, let me just read a few more. So Rebecca says, I want to hate Nicholas, but I think he's actually turned over a new leaf because Glenn could have killed him, but he didn't. I think he wants to stay on Glenn's good side. Yeah. I believe he can change, but like I said, it's hard to not hold a grudge. I've got Deanna saying, I love too many characters, hence why I have so many The Walking Dead cosplays. Then I've got Dawn saying, yep, he has only killed walkers.
Oh, Don says.
And
Dawn
I've got
agrees with
my
me.
Walking Deadpedia agreeing with him.
Because when the governor attacked them at the prison, Glenn was sick.
Did you get that, Lynn?
No, I couldn't hear everything.
He said that when the governor attacked the prison, Glenn was sick.
Ah.
So he didn't.
So
We got Dawn confirming that. We got Rebecca confirming that it is correct. Glenn hasn't killed anyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So again, I think it just sort of proves, what you're saying about, Glenn being
the new moral compass.
That sort of figure. Yeah, definitely.
Let me just go through the last questions on the Q&A here because you got a few before we go into the horn.
Who blew this
the
horn? Yes.
So Dean is saying great Q&A. Thank you very much, Dean.
Thank you, Dean.
Dawn was laughing at the blue balls comment I made a while ago. Said I made a great analysis. Thank you, Dawn. Dean says, what would be your weapon of choice in The Walking Dead?
Ooh, you want to go first, or?
Go ahead, Momosita.
If I was gonna choose anyone's weapon, like from a cast member, I'd definitely choose Michonne's sword because I just think it's quiet. You can kill people from a distance with it, and it just looks badass. So yeah, I'd go with Michonne's sword.
I'm gonna choose style over practicality, and I'm gonna go with Rick's Python because it's just so damn cool.
It is. It is
a staple of the show. It's vintage. You got no use. You only got what, 6 shots? How many shots do you get on Rick's gun? Is it 6 shots? Yeah. And you get 6 shots. It's hella loud, but it's just so freaking.
It's hella loud, but it's very cool. Definitely.
I've got incoming message.
Glenn matou.
Glenn killed someone?
Yeah.
Who?
No bar.
In the bar?
Com aqueles 2 caras.
With those 2 guys.
Rick matou os dois.
Rick killed both of them.
Depois a turma veio.
And then the gang came after them.
E o Glenn pela primeira vez pegou
And Glenn for the first time got a gun.
Foi no fundo do bar.
Went to the back of the bar.
Viu alguém passando pela porta.
Saw someone walking past the door. Took a shot.
Não matou.
Didn't kill the guy, but hurt the guy.
E os zumbis atacaram.
And the zombies attacked the guy. Okay, so he shot someone, but he didn't shoot the person to death.
Yeah.
But he didn't.
But
he didn't
shoot. He tried to kill the person.
Yeah, but he didn't kill them.
But didn't kill them.
My point still stands.
That was
good though.
So I'll say that half counts. That half counts then, right?
Atirou em pessoa.
He actually shot.
I'll give him partial credit on that one. You can have partial credit.
So next one, Dawn said, I love Teresa's character and had to make that my first ever cosplay and the best ever cosplay as well, by the way.
There you go. The world's best Tyrese.
Ever. Approved by Chad L. Coleman. So got Dawn saying, you guys are naturals at this vlogging thing. Well, thank you very much.
Oh, cheers.
Appreciate
this is my
that.
first time. I'm scared.
You can't tell, can you?
That's
You got Deanna. Who's Deanna?
Who's Deanna?
Who's Deanna?
Which Alexandria do you think will die next? And who do you think will last the longest?
Ooh. You're gonna hate me, Marie.
Oh God, go ahead.
But I think Miss Jessie's on that list. I think Miss Jessie will be on the list. I love you, and I love your cosplay, and I love Jessie, but she's definitely on the list.
Ugh, I hope you die too. Okay.
No, don't say that, Rosita. No, I don't want Jesse to die, but I think the whole love story with her and Rick, I just don't see that happening.
But
I
poor
just
Rick,
think
like, he lost Lori
The
already.
Walking Dead. It's The Walking Dead. Rick's not going to find love, not now. And when he does, it's with Roshone. It's Roshone.
Fabio's saying that her sons are gonna die, but she's not gonna die.
Nah, I think they're all dead. Fabi, they're all dead. They're all going to be Walker meat, I'm afraid.
Walker meat, all of them.
Yeah.
So next, let me see. Oh yeah, and who do you think will last the longest? Rick and Daryl will be the last two surviving people on Earth.
What do you mean out of all the people from Alexandria? Do they mean who's going to last the longest from
But
Alexandria?
still, I just think that it's going to be Rick and Daryl and everyone else dead.
Well, you can't
It'll be like in a fortress high up somewhere.
You can't do The Walking Dead without Rick. Daryl, I don't know. I don't think Daryl's going anywhere at the moment, but for the moment, I don't think he's going anywhere. But yeah, Rick definitely can't get rid of Rick Grimes. It's the whole reason.
So Dawn says Michonne's katana is awesome and low maintenance too. Yeah,
definitely, and it's quiet. It's quiet, so you can just sneak up and kill things. That's the way
I've got Rebecca saying, what do you think about the amount of band-aids that were on Rick's face? I saw a meme saying something along the lines of, this is what happens when you ask Edward Scissorhands to shave your face.
There you go. It's true though, but it still looked cool. Andrew Lincoln still finds a way to look cool. It didn't matter. He still looked cool to me.
Okay, you can put a bag on his face. He's still sexy.
Yeah, he still looks cool. So yeah,
like
so
that, man. No comment.
no comment. So
at least I've got my own Rick Grimes, so I'm happy with that.
No, I like the bandages though. I thought the bandages look cool, but he looks cool all the time.
Dawn is saying, "Who the fuck is Deanna?" And then I got 2 comments from the lovely Miss Deanna herself. So number 1, I think finding people has helped Daryl become part of the group. As we saw, he was hesitant at first. So Rick trying to take away his sense of involvement probably isn't reacting well with Daryl. However, I think he has too much respect for Rick to get mad. I don't think that Rick tried to take away his sense of involvement. I just think that Rick is a hard person to convince at this point. When he makes a decision now, he tends to stick to it out of all that he was listening to. Definitely one of them.
Sorry, I missed a little bit of that because it was sort of cutting out. I don't know if it was on my end or on your end.
I said that I don't think that Daryl Rick is trying to take away his sense of involvement. I just think that Rick is a person that when he sets his mind onto something, you're going to have a hard time convincing him otherwise. Yeah. But if there is one person that that's Daryl.
Definitely. I see them like brothers. I just think they've got that sort of close bond now, and yeah, I think they work well together. Definitely. I love the whole Rickle thing, without a doubt. I love that whole brotherhood.
Definitely.
But yeah, so should we get to the big question? Who the hell is blowing this horn? Who is blowing this horn?
I was like, this is working out. Rick is a fucking genius. He's saving everyone. The plan's actually working. Oh my god, this is awesome.
It was so organized as well. It was working perfectly. Who's done it?
And then out of nowhere, this it destroyed the plan.
Quickly.
They could have moved out one of the trucks. They could have opened one of the gate things that they built. Those things, but they did the absolute worst thing ever. If you know what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just
They're
crazy.
blowing horns coming from Alex. Got all those zombies going off, not only going off course and off the plan, but going towards Alexandria. Because I heard people saying maybe it was his son, but I don't think he would want to put all of Alexandria at risk because of what happened.
Yeah.
He would have just, I don't know, maybe try and shoot Rick while he's sleeping or something like that. I don't think he would put all of the community at risk, but you
Yeah.
never know what a boy that just saw his father get shot might do. Because what it looks like is that the little kid, the smaller one, I forgot all their names. I'm really sorry. I'm bad at names in the
It's okay. I
beginning.
think it might be
It seems
Sam,
like,
but I could be wrong.
yeah, it seems like he got the abuse and he saw the abuse that that Jesse suffered as well. And I think maybe the older is maybe like daddy's little boy or something. And
Yeah.
it seemed like he didn't get any abuse or he didn't see any of the abuse. So he actually got pissed off that his dad died, while the little boy is like with Jesse and kind of relief that it's all over in a sort of way. So that's kind of what the vibe I got anyways, but I got a little bit off topic, so I'll just
That's
hand it over
okay.
to you.
But yeah, so who do you think? So you don't think it was you obviously don't think it was his her son. So who do you think's done it? I mean, we've obviously got the wolves in the last series, who are sort of making themselves known,
Mm-hmm.
and we don't quite know how many of them there are, how close to Alexandria they are. So yeah, for me, the obvious choice is something to do with the wolves. But yeah, what else is everybody else thinking? There must be some other ideas bouncing around in people's
Yep.
heads.
So Don is agreeing that either Jesse's son or the wolves, and then Rebecca is saying something I didn't even think about.
Ooh.
I think it might be Enid. Something about her doesn't sit right with me.
Yeah, I don't like Enid either. I don't know what it is. I'm quite protective over Carl. I always have been. And yeah, I don't like Enid. I don't think she's good for. It's not good for Carl. But that's an interesting theory. I haven't thought of that either.
Me neither. Who do you think, Zoza? Rick Grimes. Who do you think blew the horn? Who's making all that noise?
The douche priest.
Gabriel.
Yeah.
Ah,
That's a new one.
you got Gabriel there as well. I wouldn't put it past Gabriel, to be honest with you.
No, definitely not. After all he's done, I wouldn't put it past him.
No, I mean he's put his whole congregation at the time at risk, and so he obviously doesn't care about anyone else but himself. So I don't see any reason for him to continue to stay true to Alexandria. And yeah, maybe he didn't like the sort of bitch slap Rick gave him over the whole thing. Never know.
Plot twist, it was Judith.
It was Judith. She set a horn off. But yeah, was it like some sort of like a truck's horn or something like that? Like what type of horn is that? Because it's loud. It sounded like it was coming from like a
so loud.
lorry or I don't know.
Or maybe what do you call it? Though you know those sound systems like in the prison,
Yeah.
something like that as well. Sounded
Well,
kind
like
of something like that.
speakers. You're saying like using speakers
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, really, really annoying. I really want to know who's
So
done that.
if we weren't so early in the season, I would maybe even say Negan's group, but definitely not.
Yeah.
So either because the thing is like, yes, the wolves definitely, like, I honestly think that would be too easy of an answer. It wouldn't be that much of a cliffhanger if it was actually just the wolves like pissing about.
Yeah.
So I think that might be a bit of a plot twist in there about where that sound's coming from.
I mean, it could be. I mean, it could also be anyone from Alexandria. I mean, there's so many people that we don't know yet. I haven't had the opportunity to know. I mean, there could be someone who's just pissed at the fact that this new group's taken over, and You know, they're doing this sort of out of spite. I don't really know, but yeah, at the moment, I'm going to stick with the Wolves because for me, I can't think of who it would be, but I hope they surprise us with something good.
Mm-hmm. So, Don said Rick Grimes does Sin City.
Sin City, it does look a bit Sin City. I think the whole black and white, a bit comic-y. I can see the whole Sin City thing.
And then you got Deanna saying, which comic story arc would you like to see them follow the most? Hilltop with Herschel Jr. is definitely one for me. And Don't Hate Me, but Negan too. Apparently they have done castings for Negan recently. So I would love to answer that question, but we do have a lot of people on here that haven't read the comics, so me and Lynn don't really want to give away any comic spoilers.
Yeah, don't want to give
But
away too much. Yeah, don't want to
Yeah.
give away much.
The thing is
just
that,
in case.
I don't think Alexandria is gonna last in the TV show as much as it's lasted in the comics. That's all I got to say.
But again, that's just your opinion, and they can do pretty much anything. I mean, being a comic book fan, I love the fact that they go off of it. They don't do everything as it is in the comics, without
Thank God.
saying.
Thank God.
Yeah. So I like that. A lot of people, some comic book readers don't like it. Other comic book readers love it. And I'm one of the small few that I think I like the fact that the show keeps me on my toes and it doesn't go exactly the way it does in the comics.
Thank God, or else you'd be very upset. So moving on to Rebecca, she says, I have my own theory which works with the wolf. Okay.
Wait, I couldn't hear that. Say that again.
She said, I have my theory with Enid. She works with the wolves.
Oh. Who works
She is a
with
loner,
wolves?
right? You know, she's her parents and stuff aren't with her in Alexandria, it seems. It seems it's just her, doesn't it?
Oh, is this Enid? I think
Yeah.
aren't her parents dead, or did I just assume that? Because I'm sure they said they found her alone.
I think she's by herself.
Yeah.
So something that I have to say. So here's what I think. It's really difficult to this without getting comic spoilers, but whoever's read the comics will know about a girl and Carl. Yeah. So I'm gonna try to circle around this without giving too much away. The first time I saw Carl and Ian about Carl and what happened in the comics, so if that's anything to go by, that's an idea of. After Rebecca said this, it kind of does give me this feeling. I know that's really, really vague, but do you kind of know what I mean, Lynn?
Sorry, I keep getting interference with part of the conversation, which is really annoying.
That's weird.
So I do
Your voice
apologize.
is fine on my end. I was saying that basically, can you hear me now? Is it better?
Yeah, I can hear you better now, yeah.
I'm saying basically Rebecca's saying that Enid works with the wolves and that Enid with Carl has been giving me vibes towards the comics.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, got you. Yeah.
So I really, really think that if that's anything to base this on, yes, it could be a question that maybe Enid could be working with the wolves.
That's quite an interesting fact. Again, I haven't thought of that. I do. Yeah, I do like that idea. That's quite a clever idea, not one that I've
especially
sort of
her being
on.
quite a loner in Alexandria and going outside the walls all the time.
Yeah, definitely. And I know I don't like her for some reason. So there's something about her I don't like, but I hadn't picked up on that. So there's some really interesting points. I like that. But yeah, so
saying he's up to date with the comics, but not everyone. So
Maybe we
I don't
can
want to
have
say
a
too much.
a chat at some point about Walking Dead
Yeah.
comics and upcoming on that. So that'd be quite cool. We can do something along those lines if people want to chat comics, and we can just chat some comics and just make sure we're not spoiling anything for anyone. Because I could talk all day about The Walking Dead, but and that goes for comics, merchandise, anything along those lines. But yeah, that'd be cool. Just so we can just talk all things comics. But yeah, today's
All right
been
then,
fun.
guys.
It's been awesome. I've had a good time.
Been awesome. Been, I guess, almost an hour and a half. So I think we'll start saying our goodbyes.
That's a long time.
Yeah, I know, right? When we start talking about stuff, we don't even notice the time going by. So, guys, it's been amazing. This is something that we want to do on a weekly basis. So, hopefully, every Tuesday, if work permits.
Yeah, 40
We
minutes.
should be hanging about. If not, we'll adjust it to Monday, Wednesday, something like that. We do want to give an opportunity for all our UK friends to watch it on the telly on Monday before coming to hang out with us.
Exactly.
So just keep an eye on all our pages, Facebook, Twitter, etc. We'll always be posting about times on there. We did just make a new Facebook page, so just go to facebook.com/hangingthatgirls. You can like the page to get updates. We're on Google, YouTube. Our own personal accounts will always be posting about it as well. Walker
Definitely.
Soccer Con London group as well. So just, you can't miss it. We'll be posting about it everywhere. It is going to be on a weekly basis every week that there's a new Walking Dead episode.
Awesome. But thank you so much again, guys. I had a lot of fun, and it was fun doing this, and I look forward to chatting with everyone again soon. So thank you.
Good night. Bye.
Bye.